Hello and welcome to my channel On the Hook Crochet with Jeannie, where we talk about wearable crochet style. And let's find out what's been on the hook. Today is Wednesday, and if you remember from Monday, I said that I was going to join in on the season of the granny by showing a sweater that I had made for my mom many years ago, and that I brought back home so I could make sure that it didn't disappear. So I am going to show that today here in just a couple of minutes. I'm also going to show you a couple of finished objects that I have and also a brand new project bag. So grab a crochet project and crochet along while we chit chat today. I wanted to speak with you in the middle of the week this week because when I wait until Friday to bring up what I've been doing all week, it takes so long and the videos get too long, and I don't want to keep your time tied up like that for more than 20 minutes or so. So I'm going to split it up this week and visit with you on Wednesday. And yes, answering some questions from my comments. I did get a haircut. I got most of my hair cut off. It was actually a spring cut and it's a little bit early, but you know, it's 67 degrees outside today and a little bit rainy, but it feels like spring, and I know my daffodils are coming up. If there's a cold front that comes through, I hope that they don't get frozen. And they are showing themselves up for spring, so I'm excited. My birds are out and fluttering about. It looks like they've flown in from the south and are establishing themselves in the trees outside my house. So I'm excited. I'm thinking that it's spring. So I hope you grab a crochet project and work on it while we're talking today. I have a couple of finished objects I want to show you, a new project bag, and also the sweater that I made many years ago for my mom. So that's what we're doing today. And then on Friday, we will pick our giveaway winners for the 2 skeins of yarn and the 2 Kimberly Cowls. And the third giveaway, which was the Crochet Surprise. Well, I'm going to open that today. I'm going to show you what's in it so that you can see if you want to join in the comments from Monday's video and put your name in for the drawing on Friday. So I'm going to open that right now. Now I have my Crochet Surprise Box. I have cut the tape on it, but I haven't looked, so I'm going to look in here and see what is in the February Crochet Surprise Box. Always what's in here is a nicely wrapped box of yarn, a pattern, and also some tea. It looks like there's a little special prize as well. The tea for this month is the Mapache blend. That's the way I'm pronouncing that. I think that's correct. And this is caffeine-free tea, so that'll be nice. You don't have to worry about drinking it in the evening. That way you can drink it any time of day. It's caffeine-free. There are 3 skeins of yarn in this box, 2 skeins of Snapdragon, which is the purple color, and then one skein of Pagoda, all Caron Simply Soft. Now, so let's see what the pattern is for this month. So the pattern is for fingerless gloves, and there is a picture of the gloves, and they're crocheted, so that's good. It's a Crochet Surprise Box. It takes a 4mm crochet hook, some buttons, and a stitch marker and yarn needle, which you already have. So the pattern is courtesy of Melissa at Yarn Blossom Boutique, and she has an Etsy shop called Yarn Blossom Boutique. You can go out there and take a look if you want to see what kind of work she does. These fingerless gloves have 54 rounds. They include the thumb opening, the thumb edging, and the button flap. And apparently that's right here, if you can see that. And the buttons are included in the package. So these are really cute. And out of Caron Simply Soft, I can imagine how soft they would be. I love Caron Simply Soft. You know I make lots of things from this particular kind of yarn. So it's very beautiful. And there are 3 skeins of yarn. These 2 would make a set of fingerless gloves. This is in there for some reason. There are 315 yards on this skein, so you can make 2 sets of fingerless gloves, one in the blue-green, the pagoda color, and one set in the Snapdragon. So there's enough yarn to make 2 pairs of fingerless gloves. Very, very nice. Very nice. So in the Ziploc bag are 6 black buttons and 6 silver buttons. So you can make the 2 sets of fingerless gloves from this box, and you also have the buttons to put on it all, the yarn to make it with, and the pattern, of course. So the very nice Crochet Surprise Box. That was kind of a surprise for me. Usually I open it up and I look at it and I analyze it and then I show it to you. But this was an actual opening that I had my first look at it when you had your first look at it. So that's a different way of doing it. I don't know if I'll do that again. But because I like to be a little more prepared to show what's in the box. But Crochet Surprise is a wonderful, wonderful monthly subscription. I do have a deal with them where they send me a free box and I give it away as a giveaway that week. So now that it's the 5th of February, I'm able to show what's in the box. So if you want to, you can sign up for the giveaway down in the comment section on Monday's video. Watch the video and get the keyword and then put a comment down there. And you'll be in the running for Friday's giveaway, which will include Crochet Surprise and 2 other gifts, one each, a skein of Red Heart Colorscapes yarn, and also my Kimberly Cowl pattern I'm printing off, and I'll send it to you already printed off. You don't have to print it off. I'll be back on Friday to select the winners for the giveaway then. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful week. I hope you're having a wonderful week. I think about y'all during the week. When I don't do a video on Wednesday, I think about you all week and what I can show to you on Friday, which might be of interest to you. So I'm doing that today because I've been working. I've been a little bit of a busy bee, but not too much of a busy bee. I'm almost finished with my striped sweater, and that's the V-neck sweater with the short sleeves, and hopefully I'll be wearing that on Friday. I can't promise, but I hope to be wearing that on Friday. Today I wanted to show you a couple of finished objects. So last Monday I said I had some comfy cotton that I might make a Kimberly Cowl from. And I found this in my stash. This is the Lion Brand Comfy Cotton Blend in the color Lovey Dovey. I bought this last year. I thought it was really cute for Valentine's Day, and I didn't know what to do with it. I have a couple of cakes of it, and I used this much to make what I'm going to show you today. Hardly anything from the center of this cake. But that's the Comfy Cotton Lovey Dovey, and I made a Kimberly Cowl from it. This is it's kind of pretty. I like the colors in it. It's pink and kind of an off-white or a cream color, all mixed in, dark pinks, light pinks, and that little bit of cream color in there. So I made a Kimberly Cowl from this. It's 28 inches long, and that's because I chained up the number that I say in the pattern, but I'm using a number 3 yarn. So it was a little bit smaller. I use the same hook that I usually use. You have to just experiment to find out which hook works best for you. But this is a 28-inch cowl around. I sewed it last. I'll show you a different one that I made here in just a minute. But here's the seam in the back. You can't really see that. It's right there. So I sewed it together, not with a needle and yarn, but I sewed it with single crochets. I think that's how the pattern actually says to do it. And you can use a slip stitch to make this seam. Just slip stitch across the edges and slip stitch them together. Or you can use a piece of yarn and an embroidery needle to seam the 2 ends together and make it a cowl. And something this short can't really be a scarf, so you have to sew it. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with a different colored one. But I thought it was pretty with this. I went in my closet and I found a top that was kind of a pink, cream pink color, and a jacket in the dark pink, and it turned out really nice. And for the weather today, it's not cold, so I'm able to get away with wearing this. I'm just wearing it with a pair of jeans. It's very casual. This is a kind of a neat jacket. I got this at J. Jill. It's got a peplum, and I don't know if y'all know what a peplum is, but it's a waist in a sweater or a jacket, and then below the waist is like a little skirt almost, and it's usually a tiny bit bigger than the actual jacket. So the peplum on this is not at the waist. My waist is down here. This is almost like a midriff peplum, and I've never really seen anything like this. I've worn it for about a year. I also have a lavender color one that I really, really like. And they're made out of like a microfiber fabric. So they're not hot and they're not cold. They're just right to wear on a spring day like today, where it's 67 degrees outside. So I thought I would put that outfit together. I really love this cowl. It's easy, it's not hard to make, and it's also very light. It's comfy cotton. It's not heavy wool or even a light wool. It's not wool, it's cotton. So it's very comfortable. I've been wearing it around since about 6:30 this morning, and it feels pretty good. So that's another idea for a Kimberly Cowl. You can make it out of comfy cotton. You can make it as long as you want by actually changing the hook size if you want to do that, because the chain number is specific on there only because there's a pattern repeat. And you can also ad-lib that. If you get to the end of the row and you have an extra stitch, or you don't have a stitch, you just put one in the end, put a double, increase it once. And then when you sew the cowl together, you can adjust that. So be creative. You don't have to do everything just exactly like I say. You can change it up and design your own cowl just however you want it to. I'm just giving you kind of an outline. But if you follow the directions exactly as they say, you'll have a cowl that looks just like the one that I made and showed you last week. So that's how the Kimberly Cowl works. Now, what I did was I had some yarn on my desk, and it was the Mythology yarn that was swapped with me by one of my subscribers. And I swapped the 70s color yarn with her blue yarn, and I love this blue yarn. This is one of the cakes that she sent me. This is the Mythology Royal Court is the name of that color. It's beautiful. It's got a little bit of purple in it and blues and a little bit of gray. So it's different from this other color, which was called Empire, and the Empire is all blue, no purple. And let me just show you how that made up. I actually made a Kimberly Cowl with this blue yarn, the Empire color that was sent out in the Knit Crate box. And I didn't get this color, of course. Like I said, I ordered the wrong one. Actually, I didn't really change my order, so I was on the I was in the wrong colorway, and I ended up with browns and greens, and I didn't really like, and oranges. I didn't really like the colors, but I do love these, and thank you so much for swapping with me. I wanted to show you this. This is my Kimberly Cowl, but not made the way I say. This is made across this way. And so when you have a skein of yarn and you're not sure how big the Kimberly Cowl is going to be, you can, instead of chaining up the length of the cowl, you can chain up the width of the cowl that you want. This has 3 pattern repeats. You can see them there. 1, 2, 3. 3 pattern repeats, and then some mesh on the side. I added a few chains on each side, and that way I could have a little bit of mesh along the edge. And I just really thought that was going to be prettier than doing the shell stitch this way. It's for a change. It's just for a change. So this is what it looks like. It turned out really pretty. And of course the yarn is quite gorgeous, and that helps quite a bit. But this is how long it ended up being. Right at about 36 inches long. Okay, that's after I crocheted the whole cake of yarn. I just kept going until I ran out of yarn. Now what I'm going to do, since this is wool, I'm going to block it, and I'm going to block it bigger than it is now. So it's only 36 inches long. That's not long enough for me. I wanted to make it a scarf. I did not want to make a cowl. I want to make a scarf. So I'm going to stretch this when I block it and see if I can make it long enough to be comfortable as a scarf. It's actually almost there now. It's almost there, but it needs a little bit more length on it to suit me to be a scarf. So I'm going to do that. I'm not going to put fringe on it. I thought I might, but I used all the yarn for the crochet, so I did not plan to put fringe on here, and I will not put fringe on here. You can also combine this color with that color, but to me they're too different. They are too different to put fringe on in this color on this particular scarf. So I won't be doing that. I might actually make another scarf out of the other color. I do love the blue, and as we talked about on Monday, blue is one of the fashion colors for this year, and these are obviously that medium blue, very beautiful blue, all different shades of that blue, and together they make a really pretty scarf. So after I do this video, I'm going to take this down to my craft room, stretch it out, and spray it really well, get it good and wet, and let it dry. And maybe by Friday, it'll be dry enough to show. That's what I'm hoping for, that it will be dry enough to show y'all, and you can see what it looks like when it's blocked. And what I'll probably be able to do is stretch this out so that you can see the shell stitch a little bit better if you pull it apart. And that's the way it will look when it's blocked. I'm excited about that. I'm going to take it down there as soon as I finish this video and wet it down, put it on my block, and that way I can get it done for Friday's video. Another thing that I wanted to show you today is my new project bag, and I told you Monday I was going to show this to you, so I am. This is another project bag that I ordered special as a custom order from Jo, who makes my project bags. And she's making custom bags now. As I said before, she has not got an Etsy shop, but she's getting ready to launch one. Until then, she's making custom bags. So if you want one, you can email her with the address below, and you can order one there. But I just wanted to show you this. I ordered this a while back, and I wanted her to make the other bags first, so she kind of did that. And then she worked on this bag. Now, this is vinyl right here. You can see through it, obviously. And then the bottom is a fabric that is quilted. She quilts all of her own fabric. And the bottom, which is a black color, really pretty bottom fabric that matches the fabric down inside. See if you can see that. Yeah, there it is, down inside. Now, there are no pockets on the inside or the outside of this bag. This is strictly so I can see what's in the bag. So I'm not worried about pockets. But she did reinforce this whole bag so that it would actually just stand up on its own. It stands up on its own. And now she matched this fabric with this fabric. And then this is the fabric that matched the bottom of the project bag. And she also embroidered down the middle of each strap. So beautiful. I really like it. And then it closes with a zipper like I asked her for. She knows I love zipper closings. She made a beautiful zipper pull out of black and red to match the fabric on the bag. So I'm just really thrilled with it. She always shows me the most beautiful bag. When I ask her for one, she shows up with the most beautiful bags. So if you're interested, you'll need to order one pretty quick, because when she opens her Etsy shop, I have a feeling she's going to be pretty busy. So those are some of the items I wanted to show you today. My new cowl, my scarf, and my project bag. And now I want to show you the sweater that I made for my mom many years ago. And I said I was 8. I was between 8 and 9 years old, so I don't know exactly how old I was. But I was very young. I had learned to make granny squares. My mom taught me how to do it. And I've asked Crystal to model this beautiful sweater for you all so you can see it. And this is in my closet. I probably won't be wearing it because it's really heavy. But it was a work of art, and I felt like I had really done something special when I made this for my mom. So this is the sweater. I counted the number of granny squares in this particular sweater, and there were 67 granny squares in this sweater, and 6 granny triangles. And those, you can see one right here. Here's one at the top of each side of the neck. And there's a triangle here at the front of the sleeve and also on the back here. So the sleeves are made in regular granny squares, and then the 2 triangles are at the shoulder, so it shapes the sleeve very beautifully. I don't know where the pattern is for this. I have no idea. I'm sure there was one, but I just wanted to show you all the detail in it because I haven't really looked at it in many years. The sleeve cuffs have 8 rows of granny stitch. Let me see if I can get Crystal a little closer. Whoops. here are the 8 rows of Granny's. Let me see if I can get my hand in there and show it to you. There are 8 rows for the cuff here. And then the granny squares are just made out of all different colors. I'm sure there are colors that my mom just had in her stash, and I would grab one and make a row on a granny square out of those particular colors. There's no rhyme and reason here. The only rhyme and reason is the edging. I did 2 rows of granny stitches around the edges, all around the sweater, at the bottom, around the back. And then I created these ties that are just pulled through the edges of the last granny square here. They are fed through those holes, and I made them obviously out of chain. And then at the bottom, I made a circular button out of the same color yarn, and I attached it on the back to the chain that I made that feeds through there. So these ties, there are 3 different ties all the way down the front, and they're adjustable, so you can put the tie up higher or lower, wherever you want to put it, because it just comes through one of these holes in the granny square. See my finger right there? So let me show you the back. This is the back of the sweater. It's very, very colorful. My mom liked colorful things, so I made her this sweater in all different colors. There's no real rhyme or reason to the colors in here. They're all just mixed up. But I like the way it fits Crystal. It actually fits her very, very well. And the sleeves were done, I think those were really the nicest part of the pattern, because they have the triangles here and on the front, so that they lay nicely at the top of the arm. I really like that. So I wanted to show this to you because this is my granny square creation, and I probably won't be making anything else in granny squares. But I do like this. After I got it out, I looked at it carefully, and she has pressed this. It looked like she steamed it because it's very flat and it looks very finished. I didn't know she had done that, but it looks like she had pressed it or sent it to the dry cleaners, one or the other, and then put it in plastic. And when I was bringing her up here to live with me, I saw that in her closet, and I thought, I really need to pick that up and bring it home. So I wanted to show you this. It's kind of an interesting sweater. It's very, very heavy. It's probably very, very warm. But I probably won't be wearing it. I'll just keep it in my closet and get it out every so often and take a look at it and kind of remember my mom when I look at it. So I wanted to show that to you. I hope you enjoyed it. That is my contribution to the season of the Granny. I hope you liked it, and let me know what you think down in the comments. That is so old. I don't know even where the pattern is. I'm sure there was one, but I don't know where the pattern is for that. But and you could certainly make one just by looking at this one. The granny squares on this sweater are 4.5 by 4.5. So I know somebody's going to ask me that. So I'll just tell you that right now. They're 4.5 by 4.5. I did bring the whole thing together with the royal blue yarn. So that helped the look of it come together a little bit because it is blue. And I used blue around the edge of every granny square. So it looked like the last row of every granny square was in the blue. And then it looks like I actually just sewed them together here. Every granny square has blue as the last row, and then I sewed them together with blue thread. I'm sure that's what it was. So I hope you all liked it. Have a wonderful rest of the week, and I will see you again on Friday when we find out what's on the hook.